But first, he's the former chair of the RNC. Now he's the chief of staff. I don't know. You went to the frying pan, into the fire. These are two of the Reince Priebus is with us. Good to see you.
Thank you.
These are two of the hardest jobs you have, because if Donald Trump doesn't win, people are going to come down on you.
That's right.
If things don't go well in the White House, now they're going to come down on you. And you had also, you know, a balancing act all year with, you know, the Never Trumpers and all these other people that had agendas. Yeah. Not an easy year in your life, right?
No. You know, I started to figure out how to be a decent RNC chairman. I mean, I figured it out, but now it's a different challenge. But it's a great one. It's an honor. It's an honor that President-elect Trump asked me to do this, and I think he's going to be a great president. I mean, you look at the choices he's making right now, and I can just tell you, you know, his view of the enormity of the job and the way he's viewing it, and the way he just wants to build this country for the American people, no matter who you are, what party, what's your background, ethnicity, anything. I mean, his attitude right now is just something, I think, to behold, and I'm just so grateful for it.
Help our audience be a little bit of a fly on the wall.
Sure.
Because you're there for all of these meetings. You were at the dinner, for example. I would have loved to have been there. Because I'm still, look, I thought Mitt Romney would have been a great president, but I was so disappointed at the things that he said about Donald Trump.
Right.
You were at the dinner. Yeah. You were the only one at the dinner with the two of them. What was it like? What happened?
Well, you know, they talked a lot about sports. They both love Tom Brady. So, you know, being a Packer fan,
did they address the?
No, of course. They talked about global affairs. Talked about Syria.
No. I meant, did they address the things Romney had said?
Yeah, we talked a little bit about that.
How'd that go over?
We talked about it, and you know, look, they didn't know each other. I mean, they did hit each other pretty hard, and I think
a huckster, a fraud, a racist.
We talked
Those
about
are hard words.
I think sometimes, like all of us, and I try not to be this way, but sometimes I think, you know, you can judge people without knowing them, without really kind of getting how they tick or what they're thinking. Yeah. I think there was some of that, but I would tell you that it was genuine, it was heartfelt. They really got along, and at some point, and I would just say this: President-elect Trump he's extremely funny, and when he can get on a roll,
he was on a roll that night.
He is an incredible storyteller, and he's very, very funny. And he had Mitt Romney in tears through one of the runs that he had on a couple stories. But they got along. They talked about serious things. They talked about not serious things. But it was a good night. Nevertheless, it's good to have and build relationships for
whether he gets selected.
Right.
So I was out for the first time in a long time. I had a few extra days off around Thanksgiving. And I was out and about a lot, and I met a lot of people. And people would say two things to me right out of the box. Please tell him don't pick Mitt Romney. Please, please, please. And the second thing they'd say is tell him don't let her off the hook.
Right.
You know, in other words, because all those people were chanting, and they even were chanting earlier today out here in Cincinnati, lock her up and drain the swamp. It really won't be his decision on that, though. That's up to the Justice Department. That's up to law enforcement and the Attorney General.
I think what President-elect was trying to say was that he's not going into this office with the mindset of, I'm going to find a way to persecute Secretary Clinton. That's not where his head's at. It's definitely not where his heart's at. Right. But I would say, if indeed there's evidence that's presented that goes to Attorney General Jeff Sessions and gets presented, then certainly it's going to be his call. But I would suspect that if it's something that's serious that needs to be dealt with, the president's going to support it. As far as the whole, where are you at on Mitt Romney and all this stuff, my job is to clear out all the junk from everyone coming at the president-elect and give him an opportunity to make the decision as far as what's best for this country. It's not to overexert my opinion on anything. I think he's got great choices. I think the mayor is a wonderful man. I think David Petraeus, you know, Senator Corker, Governor Romney. But it's his decision. I said the mayor. I said the mayor.
Okay.
Sure.
I didn't hear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's his decision. But providing the opportunity for him to make a clear decision as part of being the chief of staff.
General Petraeus, how did that go?
It went well. I mean, he is a very, very smart person that really understands I mean, he'll tell you what river in Syria and then this mountain over here, and I mean, it's an unbelievable mind that he has, and you know, there's someone like that you need to listen to and talk to.
Are you prepared, like, never to sleep? Because the times that I most often got to talk to Donald Trump, the candidate, was at midnight.
Right. Well, I'm the same way. You know, you and I are the same way.
We're all up late.
I'm not. As long as I get a few hours of sleep, I'm good to go. I mean, I do like to feel like I slept, even if it's for a few hours. Right. But I can keep going. I mean, this is important stuff. got a great family, good kids.
And you're
I
all
miss
in
them,
Washington, and you're
yeah.
in the state.
It's a little tougher now because of most of the transitions in New York.
Right.
So, but when eventually things are going to move back down
pretty quickly.
Right.
It happens fast.
It'll normalize.
Walk us through. I think the most important thing, and I think where the biggest disappointment with the Republicans had come from, and you and I had discussions when you were the chairman. I'd say people are telling me the promises aren't being kept. Donald Trump has laid out a very firm agenda to get that passed. He doesn't have 60 votes in the Senate.
Right.
But Harry Reid set a precedent in terms of the nuclear option. Is that something Republicans, in your opinion, should consider?
Well, I mean, we're going to definitely use the, now, except for the Supreme Court, we can get all the cabinet through and federal courts through 51 votes.
Right.
And I would suspect that that's going to happen pretty smoothly. And look, I think that we've got a president that has a mandate. I mean, there's an electoral landslide across the country. It's one of the most significant historical political wins of maybe the entirety of the United States history of politics, but certainly for the last 100 years, we've never seen a Donald Trump phenomenon sweep the country. The people in Congress understand it. The members of our own party should understand it. Our meetings yesterday, Vice President-elect Pence and I had with Speaker Ryan were incredibly smooth. Well, things are much, no offense to our senators, but things are just naturally easier to
go through the House.
But we also have a speaker in leadership that they want to work with us and, hey, what do you guys want? How do we get it done? The Senate's a little tougher because of their rules, but I would suspect that we've got a president-elect that's going to call people out if they don't want to get on board.
Or go directly to the American people.
Right, and people may tweet one morning and not like it too much, but he is not going to keep tweeting. He's not going to sit around and just play business as usual.
Well, I got to give you credit. I think being the RNC chair in a year where there was a lot of division and 17 people wanting the job and threat needle of those people that wouldn't keep their promises, and then running a White House
quite a fiasco at times, huh?
Well, I talked to you throughout the process.
Yeah, you remember those days.
I tried to cheer you up a little.
Yeah, no, I was good. I loved the job. Well,
this is a pretty tough one too.
This is tough too, but it's just like anything. When I first started the RNC, it was 24/7, and after a few months, you start getting the hang of it and figure it out. But I think people see we're moving at lightning pace. We're doing well. So
thank you.
Thank you, sir.
He is now the official chief of staff for the president-elect Donald Trump. Thank you so much, Reince Priebus, for being